Okay, this is the Extrude Hone Profile Series Profile 150 Abrasive Flow Machine, serial number F960924.
All right, here we are.
Want to go down low
Yeah,
first?
let's take a look. I got the covers just laying here anyhow, sure. We've got our manifold up front there. 3 solenoid valves basically, up and down media cylinders and clamping cylinders. That pretty much encompasses the hydraulic manifold. Junction box, I don't know if you're down low enough to see the main media cylinder, the 4-inch cylinder. And these are the clamping cylinders, one each of these on each side. And moving up here, we've got, of course, the media pressure control, which is a compensator back to the hydraulic unit, which is nice. They have this up here. So let's say 1,000 PSI on the hydraulics would give you about 400 on media pressure PSI. And coming around the side here, not much going on here except we got the books here, some documentation, operator's manual, book with some schematics, drawings. And off the back end here, which I've got loose and ready, this comes away. You got the hydraulic cartridge right here. And again, if you want to look up in there, there's the media cylinder hydraulics and the actual media cylinders right here, the big guy. And there's not much more here except your pressure switches and the transducer down low here, which counts cubic inches off the piston rod actually once enough pressure is developed. That's why we have our tooling up there. That's about it here. Main disconnect coming in, 3-phase disconnect at 480. It's marked. And you've got your standard cycle counter, displacement counter on here. Right now we're set for 3 cycles we're going to run at. I've got it down low, 70 cubic inches. And standard controls on here otherwise for cylinder and clamping pressure. We'll fire up hydraulics in a second. I guess we can take a look at the cylinders here, Pete, and fire it up, move some cylinders around. Got the cylinder walls here. If I fire up the hydraulics, I can bring the bottom cylinder up. I'm advancing it now. That's just coming up. That's all the way up. I'm going to send it all the way back down because we're going to put some media in there. Just about down there. And then the top one, if you can see off the mirror maybe, you can see some of the putty up in there and stuff. You just kind of hold that. I'm bringing it down now. It's the top cylinder. Oh, it works pretty good, the hydraulics and stuff. That's full pressure right there. I'm going to retract it a little bit. So we've got one up and one down, top and bottom. That said, we'll back away here and cut up a few pieces of putty that I've got here. Remove the tooling for a second. A piece here we could put in. Chop a few pieces off here. Should have just about enough to fill up the bottom cylinder, pretty close to it, I think. Last piece. Well, that went well. There we go. And we just got some odds and ends tooling here, just an aluminum plate and a piece of tooling that we got off another process that's just hanging around, just so we have something to push the putty through. Create some kind of back pressure in there so the displacement counter will pick up that encoder back there. It needs at least 150 pounds pressure before it starts counting cubic inches. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this on here, center it, see if we come close without leaking. Bring it down and clamp up. That's clean. Yeah. I'm going to clamp it up. And we'll start off at a real low media pressure just in case. Just in case we're not lined up just right so it doesn't spit. There we go. See if we get a little bit more on there. The unclamp. Got to get it strong enough so we get a light on here. There we go. Now we got the lights. If you don't get enough pressure on there on the clamping, the light won't light up. So let's start it up kind of low here. We'll see where we're at, and we can always increase it. Again, I'm going for 3 cycles at 70 cubic inches per cycle, which is 1 up and 1 down, constitutes 1 cycle. So as soon as I turn this to auto now, that'll light up. Here we go. Now we're running. In a second, it's going to pick up the displacement counter. There it is. At about 1100 psi, it looks like we've got, which is about 500 psi media pressure right there. Now it's just reversed. Now the top is pushing down. We're still on the first cycle. Now we're going back up again. It's counting. It only counts on the way up. And then the top cylinder pushes it back down before we start the next cycle. There's 70. It's going back down now. Counting up again. Last one going down. Then it'll return the cylinders full down to suck all the putty out of the front top end where the tooling is, and it'll stop. It's doing that now. And what we can do is maybe run 1 more cycle at a higher pressure, and let's see if we can just disconnect it here. Manual, unclamp, clamp it back up, and what we'll do is we'll change this to maybe 100, 20 maybe. We were at 70, now we're at 120. We'll leave the 3 cycles there, and I'm just going to increase the pressure now. We'll be clocking a lot faster. Let's see how that works. I'm just going to start it where we were. I'm going to hit automatic on. It's going to start counting. Now that's where we were at before. Now let me get over here and jack this thing up a little bit slowly if you want to watch this. I'm going to take it up to about maybe 1500 on the dial, PSI. Let's see what we get here. Now we're pushing it a lot harder. We're up to 600 on the media. Now look at the clock, and you probably see it moving a little bit quicker there. Yeah, there's our first cycle already. So this is going to go about, half the time maybe than that last cycle took. There's the second one already. We almost double the cubic inches, but with the extra pressure, it's still a faster cycle time. There's the halfway point. Coming down with the top cylinder, we'll go into our 3rd cycle. Last one. When it reaches the top at this 120, the number will change over. That's the way it counts. back down, and that'll be it. Finish off. That's finished. And we can unclamp it and show what we got here. Unclamp, a manual first. Shuts off the counters, unclamp. And we were leaking out a little bit on the side there, but not bad. There's dual palms on this one for clamp, unclamp, by the way, as you can see. That's all the way up. And hydraulics off. And that's what we've got, pretty much. Got the tooling. And like I said, that's all we were running through there.